4 months ago, I decided to begin a project to read every DC comic. September 1st, 2025 is when I started. That isn't really what this video is about, but it also sort of is. Um, what this video is really about, I guess, is on January 13th, I attempted to kill myself. Um, and this video is more for me than anything. I'm not expecting anyone to see this or watch it, but I think I need this to just sort of cement myself and how that has changed how I see things, sort of. Um, so I woke up at 5 a.m. on Tuesday, which was January 13th. I don't remember. I think it was January 13th. And I snuck out of my house and I walked down to a bridge about 15 minutes away from my house, and I climbed over the railing and I prepared to jump, presumably to my death. And I didn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get myself to just let go of the railing. All I had to do was let go of the railing. I couldn't do it. And I'd love to say it was I thought of my friends and my family and I realized life is worth living, but it wasn't anything like that. It wasn't that I wanted to keep living, or that, I realized all my problems aren't important or anything like that. I The thing that kept me alive is the project to read every DC comic. And that sounds stupid, but the idea of failing that, of giving up and not finishing that, is what stopped me. That's all that was there. That's all that stood between me and letting go. So, after that experience, I have had a bit of a shift in perspective and priorities. Um, at the end of the day, I only get one life, right? And I don't get a long time. So, if I'm not gonna end that early, if I have a goal, a dream that I want to achieve, it is a waste of my time here to not put everything I have into that thing, is it not? So, with that in mind, I am, I'm gonna put everything I have into reading every DC comic and, my YouTube channel and all that. And, it's not gonna work, right? We all know that. I know that. Everybody around me knows that. My friends know that. My family knows that. YouTubers know that. It's almost certainly not gonna work. But if I put everything I have into this and I end up stranded under a bridge and I die cold and alone because of it, I will die happy. I will die with a smile on my face and not a single regret. If you gave me 1 million chances to choose between putting everything I have into the thing I want to do for the rest of my life and flushing my life down the toilet in the process, or taking the safe route, the standard route, focusing in school, having good grades, going to a good college, getting a good job, all that stuff, and having a good life, I would flush my life down the toilet every single time without a second thought, honestly. And that is, I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm not gonna worry about school because that's not gonna get me to where I need to be. If I have the ability and the privilege to put everything I have into my dream, then I am wasting all of that on not doing that, right? I have the ability to do that. I have the ability and the privilege and the situation where I can put everything I have into my dream. So I'm going to do that because it would be a waste not to. It would be a waste of everything I have been given to not do that. And also, second point, if I don't have that, I would not be alive, right? That is me. right now. That is my life because it is the only reason I am alive. So I'm obviously gonna put everything I have into that. Sure, I'll hang out with my friends and whatever, and I'll have a life outside of it. But I'm not going to. The life outside of it won't exist without it, right? So the project is the center of everything. The YouTube channel, and also very specifically the project part of the YouTube channel, which is reading every DC comic. And if that fails, and I ruin my life, I'll die happy, and that's all I have to say. If I go the safe route and I get a good life, and I die, I get a partner, and I die peacefully in my sleep in a mansion or something, but I went the safe route and I didn't go for what I want, then I will die with a million regrets. But if I die under a bridge because I went for what I want, I will die without a single regret. And that is my mindset right now. So I'm not going to worry about school. I'm 17, right? And, I'm going to ruin my life. Fuck it. Why not? Like I said, I'm only here once. Nobody's going to talk me out of this. I know it's embarrassing. I'm a loser for this. This is a loser thing to do. But I'm going to do it, right? And I'm not saying I'm like too good for a normal life or a standard life. I'm not saying that's above me either or below me. That simply is not the route I'm going down, no matter what. Either I'm going to have a shitty life or I'm going to have a great life because the project does work out. But either way, I'm going for the project, and that I'm putting everything I have into that. So, if I fail my classes, I don't care. I don't care if I fail, grade 12. It doesn't matter because that's not going to get me closer to my goal and my dream. And, that's that, right? And I think this video is, almost forcing myself to stick to that, I think. I don't really know. Well, I do know. Everything I said in this video, I'm 100% confident in, and nothing is going to change my mind. When I have a stupid thought or a belief, I've had moments like this in the past where I'm like, oh yeah, I'll throw everything away for this. And then I have a nap, and I wake up, and okay, that was stupid. I'm glad I didn't act on that. This is the first time that hasn't happened. I've been thinking about this for the past 4 months. I've been thinking about doing this. This isn't even caused by, me, the suicide thing. This has been around since before that. But that experience has sort of cemented it, and guaranteed I'm not going to change my mind on this. It's not going away. And I'm doing this. I am doing this to the best of my ability, and if it fails, I will. Oh well, good. I'm glad I tried. The worst possible outcome of me putting everything into this is infinitely better to me than the best possible outcome of me leaving this behind and ignoring it, or even just putting half of my effort into this. So that's that. And yeah, that's that. I don't have much else to say. Yeah. Anyways, I have to read my 10 comics for the day, so goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.